Let's see, what are we discussing today? Social media. Oh, I'm so not prepared.
Wow.
I'm so not prepared for this. I'm going to go around the table and then I'll share my thoughts. I'm going to gather some thoughts. And basically, we're going to talk about how will blockchain rule the world when it comes to social media.
Ellen.
It's funny. I've never heard about blockchain used in the context of social media, but the only thing I can think of is the news and smart contracts. And one thing I think about with blockchain is that you have a smart contract and there are certain stipulations. And when it comes to the news, a bunch of people could be tweeting about one event, and then that would automatically the robot would see that as a trending topic and then would automatically send create a television program with a avatar that's speaking and saying according to 1,000 people that tweeted this event, there was just an explosion near the Kremlin. We haven't confirmed it yet, but 1,000 people tweeted it, and we can see that it's not a bot network.
That is
Yeah,
super
that is a
interesting.
tough one. I can't think of anything else. That's my thought.
That is super interesting. So the algorithm picks up almost like a weighted amount of the same data, and once it's verified, it sends it out to the people. So basically, the more viral the story is that people are tweeting from their phone, the more it goes out. Isn't that more media than social media, though?
The Norwegian government is already doing something like that, because people's wages are so high when they work weekends, and a lot of people don't want to work weekends and nights. They use bots and computer programs. But I'd say that it's social media because most news now comes from social media, from a bunch of people, from trending topics. Although the dangerous thing is that now it can be manipulated by bot networks running out of Russia or China. But I think with blockchain, we'll see less elections and less stories being manipulated. Like you hear on Twitter, this person died and they didn't really die. They're really alive. I think that's going to disappear.
Very super interesting. And it makes sense because social media is now basically they categorized by what the people want. So for example, when Facebook started, it was really just for shits and giggles, for chatting and catching up with the profiles and talking to your friends. And now they're moving more into a news slash advert industry. Twitter is just pumping information on like, this is what's new, and I don't care what you say. This is what's trending, and this is news, and just passes by. TikTok is how Facebook was. It's for shits and giggles. It's for fun, right? You don't see many adverts. You don't see news. Well, you're starting to see some guys talk about the news because they think that's trending. But it's funny because this blockchain for social media is basically going to evolve into whatever the people want, which I think is just awesome. Thank you, Dylan.
Yeah, I hope it.
Oops, sorry. Let's go to Jay.
Whoop, whoop. Okay, hopefully you can hear me okay.
Yeah.
Testing,
Yes,
testing,
we
1,
can.
2.
Can hear you.
Yeah, so I only heard about these non-fungible tokens last week, these NFTs. So it seems like it's connected to a piece of digital media, and you can trace where that digital media goes, so it can imply ownership. And if someone wants to sell their picture, they can do that digitally, and the buyer has then proof of ownership, whereas no one else online will ever have that. I see that being used for information. So in social media, there's some sort of effect where disinformation spreads faster than information. Clickbait titles and fake news goes viral, whereas things out of research papers and journals they don't go anywhere. They just stay within the science circles. So I can see maybe blockchain being used to track pieces of information. And if you can track it, maybe you could track it back to the source, back to the journal and the research institute. And if it doesn't have that traceability, then maybe it can go less viral.
Perfect. Thank you.
Some good points there, yeah.
Yeah, excellent points. Let's go to Geo. Trying to reserve my comments for later. I get too excited.
Geo. Hi.
How will blockchain rule the world when it comes to social media, Geo? Feel free to speak or pass. Completely up to you. All right. Geo wants to pass. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to allow hand raise participation. So if you haven't spoken or you have something extra to say later on, feel free to raise your hand. Let's head over to Ultra Funky Claves.
Hi, you hear me?
Funky, hi. Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Yes, very well. Okay, I don't know if my thought pattern is correct in this, but I'm thinking like this: we have all the how to say, the drama with things that happens on social media. So sometimes, you know, you can see things like who said a thing first, you know, like an alibi. Maybe this is like a crime. You can see it like somebody said something and then somebody reacted on that, and then somebody. Sometimes that is put out of place and mismatch. So something that was said after is like when the information is spread is like was said before, and then the whole concept of the thing, the drama, the thing that happens goes out of sync, and people cannot follow what's truth and what is not. So if you could stamp your thing that you say, the videos you do, the things you think about, it's like, again, the alibi for you that you did the right thing at the right time. So nobody will jump you, and you can always go back and says, no, this is wrong. This is the timeline of the history of this thing that happened right now, or the thing that happened. So that's what I think that could be really good with blockchains, if you could like stamp everything with the correct timestamp or the value of what was said. So that's my point of view. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Like, I was actually just thinking all right, so obviously if you're based in America, in wherever, Massachusetts or New York, Colorado, wherever it is, you'll be snapping the information that is most relevant to your country. Because who's to say that someone in America wants to hear any information in Greece, for example, right? So basically the most trending information that's occurring based in your area is what people are snapping. So what I thought about is, imagine they use the social media tactic for like anti-crime. Like, say somebody goes and snatches a purse, for example, and the woman says, "Catch the man running," and everybody takes their phone, starts snapping this guy. They'll be able to pinpoint exactly where he is at any one time. Police will be there, court, and people never have to worry about theft again, because it's the people that are able to track them, and we're all in this together. Quite interesting. All right, for those who haven't spoken and joined yet, welcome to Oh My Brain. The topic for today is 11 industries that will rule the world, and we're starting with social media. So if you haven't spoken and you'd like to share your thoughts, ideas, then feel free to raise your hand. Or if you feel like passing, raise your hand and then say, "I'd like to pass." Okay. Ali. Azzy. Hello.
Hi, Azzy.
Hello, I think I was going to use your piece of advice, and say that I was going to pass, actually, because I'm not very strong at this topic, and I would like to hear your opinion on that. But yeah, I think social media is going to change in the future, which looks plausible to me, but very, I think it's not so probable because of this TikTok stuff, and like people, as somebody mentioned before me, like people catch up something that is not very useful, and it's just like clickbait or hype stuff. They catch it faster right now, but hopefully they're going to get tired of that, as people got tired of objectivation, like when the woman's body is used everywhere for advertisement. And now I think it's going to change a little bit because people will get tired of that eventually, hopefully. So let's see how that's going to change in the future.
All right. Yeah. And you know, blockchain is going to pick up what your preferences are. Because just because you don't want to see women flashing asses every day, it doesn't mean that a guy doesn't want to do it. And so it's going to be based on the preferences of how much engagement, liking, and comments are taking place within a certain field. And basically, the blockchain social media will be catered exactly to what you want to see, buy, and communicate with. So yeah, awesome. Thank you, Aziz. Ali, hello.
Hi. Before I continue, I want to go to hand raisers. There are 3. I'm going to go to Jay quickly
All right.
and see what he has to say. Jay.
Thank you. So I don't want to impose, but I had 2 ideas that came up. So the first idea, which it was brought to my attention that some people online will buy a woman's bathwater. I don't know what the hell for, but it kind of got me thinking about these social media influencers and how people sort of they bend over backwards and follow exactly what they're doing and buy exactly what they say to buy. So I can imagine in the future, blockchain could be used to sell a BFF. So an influencer could say, sell their BFF status for $10,000, and someone can buy that, and that can be a token that's completely unique and only assigned to one person, and it proves their BFF ownership. I think that if someone can make money out of it, I think that's going to happen.
Imagine that.
For anyone interested, I'm selling my bathroom water. I'm just kidding. Okay, cool.
I mean, I
Thank
think
you, Jay.
I think the ones that are going to have advantage over this are celebrities and those that are known, because now with NFTs, if you're a celebrity, you can literally sell anything you take a photo of the day and make money. It's super easy for them, of course. All right, let's head over to Mike Hawk. Hey.
Mike Hawk.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello?
Hi.
We can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to say,
No, we can't hear you.
Well,
Okay, let's try that again.
look at his name. That name is not appropriate. I'm sorry. You're out of here. Ali, I want to go to you before we go to hand raisers.
Okay.
So, let me hear from
Well,
Ali.
I see this a little bit as multi-dimensional. For example, I think probably we could each make our own profile on blockchain profile. I don't think it will be a profile. I think it will be an identity. And I actually think that this would be great because then fake profiles cannot be created. Also, now with social media, everything is linking up. Basically, Instagram is linked to Facebook. So when you post something to Instagram, you can automatically post it to Facebook. Similarly, all social media can get linked with blockchain. So everything will be integrated as well. So instead of having 150,000 applications on your phone and just driving you crazy from notifications, it can just be all in one, and whatever each application offers can be on a personal profile, everything integrated into one thing on blockchain. So I think it will make life so much more easier and simpler as well, and prevent fake profiles, of course.
Absolutely. Thunder stolen.
I didn't hear that. Sorry.
I said thunder stolen.
Oh gosh. Should have spoken before me.
No, yeah, I mean, you said the words, you took them right out of my mouth. So I'll just share a few things, a very small amount of things, because I've already spoken throughout this session. So how will blockchain rule the world with social media? Well, the most important thing is that, as Ali said, imagine a Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter that nobody owns is now integrated into one, where you don't need to go to different platforms and channels. It's already catered, and it's designed towards what you want to see, what you want to read, who you want to befriend, and who you want to communicate with, and what you want to buy. Because now it is a place that you're buying things at the moment. And with blockchain and apps, or should I say dApps, which are decentralized apps, well, the thing is, the blockchain is going to help it completely immune to attempts to manipulate, to regulate, to spy, or even shut down. So it will definitely be a much more safer approach than what there is currently. And we know where our money is actually going within the blockchain, and who and basically it's going to be able to verify accounts based on identity. Either it's going to be through biometrics or proof of residence or GPS or all those things. So instead of you waiting years and for hundreds of thousands of followers just to be verified that you're a real person, blockchain will verify you instantly. So yeah, so those are my thoughts on how blockchain will rule the world when it comes to social media. And now let's head over to Ultra Funky.
I just need a clarification about things. I'm going with the thing that Jay said with the bath water. You know, if somebody sells that, and we say that a person drinks that bath water and then just takes and put tap water into the bottle. Even if we have the blockchain that proves that you bought the bottle with the bath water, how are we sure that we're gonna keep that bath water or that bottle with what fluid it's inside, that is original product or original thing? You know, we can always do this in the digital world about information we share or what we do. So how do we protect this? Can somebody explain, or I'm misunderstanding something?
You keep the water moving. When water is still, it gets contaminated. When it keeps moving, then it stays alive.
Are you, Ultra Funky, are you basically saying, how do we verify that the bath water will be that exact bath water and not just water from the tap?
Yeah, you're correct, 100%.
So,
that's
sorry,
the short one.
So I think that first thing is there's going to have to be an entire dApp or decentralized application for that to create verification. For example, when you order from Domino's, you can see every single step of the process from when the order's placed to when they're putting pineapple on your pizza, to when it's going into the car, going and being couriered to you, and where the car is exactly. So there's definitely going to be processes in order to verify, and it has to be done through video, for example, live videos or photographs or something that needs to verify that authenticity and originality of the item that is being sold, regardless of whether it's a bath water or a t-shirt that has been signed by some baseball player. I don't know names, but do you see what I mean? There definitely needs to be verification processes.
I'm with you. But as fast as you close the door on the pizza delivery guy and you have the pizza, you can eat it, and then you go to your kitchen and you make a new pizza that you want to sell to your neighbor or give your neighbor, and you say, this is the original pizza I ordered from Domino's. How do you check this, that you still have the same value in the thing? Because you can follow it all the way until it's delivered. After that, you really don't know if that's the correct product that's in your house. You understand me? You know, you can fake things.
I understand.
You know how
I'm
you with me? You know, you cannot, the chain is not 100% still. How do we make it 100%? That we know that that bottle of bath water is still the correct, exact the same bottle that was delivered. If I
Yeah.
want to sell it,
Yeah.
again, you know.
They're gonna have to
Um,
they're gonna have to invent like chips or something that's put into the water so we can track it down or something. Thanks, Ultra Funky. Good thoughts. If you have any ideas, let me know. But we're gonna go to Jay, and then we're gonna go to one more topic for today. Awesome, Jay.
Just jumping off a couple of points that Ultra Funky Claves and that Ali said. So that sounds like maybe you're talking about digital contracts, which I don't know much about, but I think they're starting to be used in industry, like using blockchain technology to track things through a supply chain. And I think what they do is they have like a barcode sort of thing, a unique barcode on the product, and then they have blockchain to track that through the supply chain. So it's pretty secure. It's like two-factor authentication. And so yeah, I guess you could kind of trace the bathwater if it had a unique barcode on it, maybe.
Yeah.
The thing that Ali, you were saying about having a unique ID online, like you can't have fake accounts. I see where this could be used pretty soon is in deepfakes, because people are making deepfake videos of presidents and prime ministers. But if you could have a non-fungible token behind a video that's a real video from the prime minister, then people are going to watch that and know by looking at the blockchain that it's not a deepfake. So all of this worry for the last 5 years about deepfakes becoming completely indistinguishable from reality, maybe that goes away because of blockchain.
Perfect.
I think that we will at some stage have electronic identities on a major like a cloud, which this cloud will be artificial intelligence and interactive with us as well. The question is, to what extent will it grow to? But that's another topic. Let's just stick to what we are talking about right now.
Cool. So now let's head over to the next topic. For those of you who've just joined, welcome to Oh My Brain, the second session for how blockchain will rule the world. And basically we go through different industries. We've done voting, to now we've completed social media. And are you ready for the third one? Like I said, I have no idea what it is. I was caught off guard this time. So let's see what it will be.
Drum roll.
Currencies. Oh my
Wow.
word. Okay, well.
Where to start?
Yeah, I know. I mean, this is like what blockchain started as for currencies. So I'll provide my thoughts, and then you can share some extra ideas. But I have very few, just so that we can get the room going. And that is, as you know, we've seen cryptocurrencies and forms of exchanges that can be created and exchanged simply from the new sense, the digital ether. And the decentralized cryptocurrencies are going to continue to provide a form of exchange for products and services, or as an alternative to general currencies, just like in America, where they are now accepting Bitcoin as a form of currency. And when it comes to decentralized apps, they're accepting Ethereum, and also non-fundable tokens. You can exchange your dollars for Ethereum to buy these digital assets. So with decentralized currencies, there's going to be obviously less taxes because it's going between the users instead of the government. You're going to have full ownership of the currencies that you have. They're going to be instant exchanges, so no delays of 3 to 4 days working. Like when you deal with blockchain currencies, you will be able to do instant deposits, instant withdrawals. Obviously, if there are blockchain ATMs or something in the future, or if the withdrawer is from a cryptocurrency into a normal currency such as dollars, etc. But then the most important thing that I think is awesome is that there are going to be very quick offshore transactions. No more waiting 5 days in order for your currencies to be taken to another country. So you'll be able to jump it back and forth without the banks, without intermediaries, and without worrying about extra taxes. So now we are going to go around the table. And yes, I only scratched the surface, so I saved some for you guys. And now we're going to go around the table and we're going to ask, how will blockchain rule the world when it comes to currencies? And we'll go with Dylan. All right, I will. Dylan.
Sorry, yes, I got you. Sorry, Dylan.
Well, I think the thing that's interesting is we're heading into a multipolar world because China is not, they're demanding payment in their own currency. Russia's demanding payment in their own currency. And before it was always everyone using the dollar. And now we're seeing that the Federal Reserve is against Bitcoin and all this stuff, and they're talking it down, calling it a bubble. But the interesting thing in the United States is certain individual banks, they have their own people working, like JP Morgan, they're working on their own coin. And I've heard that at a lot of banks now, you don't have bankers working there. Most of the people are programmers. And I think the first countries that will come out with the official digital currency, it seems like it'll be China will have an e-yuan and Sweden will have an e-krona. And I think this is good because it'll allow us to see poverty, and it'll be able to have instant digital transfers, and it'll also help with the basic income that's coming to many parts of the world. And that's my thought.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Perfect. Jay.
Okay.
Yes.
I want to provide a counter argument for why blockchain will rule the world and why it will be the next currency. And that's global warming. Because I recently heard that one Bitcoin transaction takes the same energy as 3 days worth for a home, for like a whole house. So what a normal person would spend in 3 days on electricity is just to transfer one Bitcoin because of the amount of processing involved. And at the moment, the calculations on all of the Bitcoin and Ethereum transactions, it amounts to about the energy consumption of a medium-sized country. And the global warming impact is huge. And that's only going to get bigger as the blockchain grows and the computational complexity grows. So I think at some point we're going to hit a wall and we're going to have to say, no, the technology needs to change, or we need to put an end to blockchain because the world's getting too polluted and too hot. That's me.
Yeah, we're even seeing the icebergs melting, huge ice caps. And people are in social media starting to record these massive ice caps that are melting. But the thing is, we still have a sun up there. And we are not utilizing that energy to the extent that we should. We're still depending on these 100-year-old, old-fashioned contracts with oil. And we need Elon! Elon! All right, let's go to Geo.
Geo. Hi.
You're on, Geo. And he raised his hand, I see. Geo.
If you're talking, we cannot hear you.
Yeah, we can't hear a thing. So I'm going to dismiss you, and then just raise your hand and we'll get right back to you. Let's go to Have a Cigar. Hello and welcome.
Hello. I just I think this blockchain and all these currencies, they're going only to last as long as the internet lasts. And it just take a big war and then the internet will be gone and then you lose everything. I mean, how can you keep track of your values if there are no internet? And then you would wish you had gold in your garden buried.
So are you saying that there could be a switch that can switch off the internet, have a cigar?
Not a switch. I mean, when there is a war, the internet will go. I mean, internet is incredibly weak. It need massive update all the time, and in a war, people simply have no resource to keep the internet going, and it will be blown up. Cables will be blown up. I mean, it just take one surface vessel to drop, a bomb, a zinc bomb on the transatlantic internet cable that goes across Atlantic.
Yeah.
Then you have pretty much shut off internet in Europe and USA. And the satellites will go out. I mean, that is why people want to save money. They want to save money for hard times, like wars and...
Oh, we lost you there. Psych them up, have a cigar. That's the way to speak. Positivity. Can you imagine how good it would be if the internet switched off for like a week and all the debt and all the things and will just like disappear completely, and then we'll do a restart. But the question, have
It's
a
not
cigar.
only about the date. Sorry.
Well, yes, the cleansing. We'll walk outside and say, oh my word, there's a sun, there's grass, there's sand beneath our feet. How will blockchain rule the world when it comes to currencies? That's the question. That's what we got to stick with, or else we can talk all day about everything. So let's head over to IO. Did you get that, Ali?
The megaphone is yours. Yes.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. Well, yeah, I mean, I think that, because I've been following quite a lot of the cryptocurrencies quite closely, and also a lot of the stuff that is happening around the cryptocurrencies, like NFTs, which did you mention earlier? I think maybe it was mentioned earlier or something
Yes.
along those lines. So what's really interesting about that, and what I think is really groundbreaking about it, is, of course, the fact that you can have now a asset which is digital but also non-reproducible, which is like absolutely huge. And I mean, NFTs have made the news just very recently, but it's actually in terms of like our culture and digital culture, the fact that we've now got this possibility of being able to have an asset which you can't reproduce and which is definitely yours, but it's also digital, kind of brings in this property from the real world, which previously we couldn't imagine was actually really possible. So I think that's a really exciting thing. I mean, the blockchain isn't just about currencies. I mean, obviously we are talking about currencies, so sorry, I went off on a bit of a tangent there, but you know, it will revolutionize like fiat currencies now have a lot of competition, and I believe that in the next couple of decades we're going to see fiat currencies collapse to some extent as a result of cryptocurrencies being in existence. And cryptocurrencies make much more sense as currencies because they are, you know, you can't just make it up. Like with fiat currencies, it's just made up, like the bank of whatever. country or institution kind of controls the inflation or deflation, or well, generally inflation of whatever currency. But now with cryptocurrencies, that simply can't happen. So we really do have like a real thing there. And I think, like, you know, somebody over here said about the effect of global warming as a counter argument to cryptocurrencies as a thing. I mean, yeah, they do contribute to output and usage energy, and, you know, yeah, that's kind of only the case for like mining, really, whereas most of the new gen cryptocurrencies actually, it's proof of stake rather than proof of work. So it just depends on the way that the crypto is built. And there's a huge move away from mining. I mean, I have a little tiny hobby mining rig here, and yeah, that is using energy and it's pumping out a lot of heat, to be honest with you. But, you know, a year, 2 year, 3 years time, that's probably going to be phased out for the other mode of generating cryptos, which is proof of stake. So, you know, I don't think that that's really a good argument against cryptocurrencies. That's just kind of like a temporary physicality. Yeah, they're my thoughts so far.
I like how you do try to jump the gun with NFTs and all that, because it is a super exciting industry. And basically over the next couple of weeks, I don't know if you know this, but we're going to go through 11 different industries. So last week we dealt with voting. Today we've dealt with social media and currencies, just getting those out the way before we go to the real steamy stuff like NFTs. Mining is basically where the commercialization of what cryptocurrencies is about, because it's in the best interest of the people who are currently learning about cryptocurrencies. If we talk about Ethereum 2.0, or we talk about smart contracts or proof of stake, there isn't really a lot going on within what's in it for me. And that's why the media keeps talking about Bitcoin and these old-fashioned styled cryptocurrencies with mining and processing power, because the technology is not fully here yet. And everything is down to, because I can understand how you're saying it's going to disrupt the fiat currencies and all that. But the thing is, we're talking about something that isn't here, and it's all based on our infrastructure. So the argument right now is if everybody mines for their cryptocurrencies, it's going to cause massive processing power to cause heating and global warming. But if they improve computers, for example, or if they start looking more into quantum computing, or if they look at computers that don't require a lot of processing power, but they are able to process a lot more bits in any one time, then it's all about infrastructure. So now
You stole mine.
I mean, but not that many currencies are actually mineable on GPUs really anymore compared to all the currencies that we have.
Yes.
You know, you've got Ethereum, which isn't going to be mineable on GPUs for very long.
Yes.
You've got like a few others, but most of the cryptocurrencies that are kind of on the scene right now are proof of stake rather than proof of work. Like networks. So, you know, less and less. I mean, faster and faster we are moving away quite rapidly, I think, from that brute force calculation thing, because it just depends on how the crypto is designed, doesn't it?
Right.
As to whether you need to mine it or to whether you need to stake it.
Well, it's also not viable to be a miner anymore. Because I've been seeing these guys on social media where they're actually doing these live videos 24/7 mining Bitcoins. And the thing is, even after 1 month, they've maybe made $30. Because so many Bitcoins have been mined, they need to go through all of the networks in the computers to solve these puzzles. And it's not even worth it anymore mining. And we don't have the infrastructure to mine like we used to. Back in 2000 and what was it, 13, when I said, yeah, just mine a Bitcoin, get one, you're probably going to pay for more mining it than actually buying one. But the thing is, when you mine, there are benefits and incentives, and I've been saying that since, and I still say that. Like, listen, when there's something that is limited of resources, the price is going to go up. It's simple like that. It's demand and supply, simple economics. But thank you so much, Ayo, and welcome to Oh My Brain. Hope you're joining us next week for more blockchain related sessions. Now we're heading over to Ultra Funky Claves. All yours.
So yeah, okay. You know, the thought that came up in my head when I saw the word currency is like this. Right now, in my world at least, how I think is like the banks make money. You know, they don't need to have that amount of money to be able to lend money to people that want to buy a house or whatever it is. Maybe they just need to have a percentage of what they are lending out. So that means that they're making more money, like flowing the market like that. And hopefully if we have the blockchain, the amount of money is going to be the amount of money that's in the system. And the only way that we will have more if something goes up in value for some reason. So I see it like it's a good way of having more control over how the money is used or made, or how it flows in the world. It's not just you have more control. Like everything is like, again, stamped with this is the amount of money this value was on this product was this, and now it's more, its value higher. So I think that's a good way of controlling countries' way of handling their money, so it doesn't run away from them, or you value something, you know, like different countries. It's an easier way. And I think also, if you look at from the way of the if we say the mafia, if they have their money and they are stamped and how they move it, and you have control over that, nothing more is going to happen. You know, it's not going to like you're not going to move paper money as you do now.
Yeah.
It's going to be more controlled. It's going to be less things happening. It's going to be more control over the money that's running over, that's flowing through the world. That's how I see it. That I think that the blockchain can control in a better way. So that's my point of view.
Oh, I think yes and no, because the thing is with blockchain, you can just move your money overseas instantaneously. But who's to say that it's the money that you're moving that is going to be the valuable part? The mafia is probably not going to be dealing with the currencies, but rather the assets that are going to be transferred, like they do, where they shipping, for example, toys, and inside toys is cocaine. And I think they're going to find the ways. Watch the space, guys. The dark blockchain. Just wait for it. I'm waiting for it. The dark blockchain. Thanks.
Like matter and antimatter.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You know what? They're going to find a way, and it's going to be easier than ever for them. Like, as transparent as it is, how do we know that they're the mafia? Aziz. They're just shipping stuffed toys.
Aziz.
Yeah, this time I'm gonna pass. Tonight I'm gonna listen. It's more interesting to listen to everybody.
Awesome. Thank you, Aziz. Ali.
Yay.
I see in the very, very far-fetched future. Why? Because similarly how Europe had, all countries had their own currency, and each currency converted to a common denominator to the euro. Similarly, how when you guys, how when people buy currencies there is another currency. Like, for example, you give so many dollars and you get so many euros or whatever it is. So in the far future, similarly how our currencies fell away, all these other currencies will fall away, and then one currency will be made, and there will be no need for currencies and confusion and everything. So yeah, that's my take, short and sweet.
Imagine each country had its own currency on the blockchain. Hey, Ali?
Yeah, that's another thought. Yeah.
Or world
That'd be
currency, like the final world currency where
One
we're all
world
entitled.
currency, exactly.
Yeah, the new
I
order.
don't think it will be just one world currency, because considering the fact that we're making moves into space and Mars, it will be more of a universal currency
Very super
in
cool.
a sense.
I like it. The Martian currency. All right, let's head over to Ryuzaki. All yours, wherever
Hi,
you
everybody.
are. Hi, how you doing?
Hi.
Yeah, hi. I'm from Japan. So everyone is talking about, little butterflies and rainbows of cryptocurrency. 100%. I'm a developer. I program in 17 languages, and I'm very familiar with technology. And I don't even have a Bitcoin or anything that has to do with cryptocurrency. I know the potential. In Japan, we had this problem during the pandemic where people had to, as far as with the whole country works, is that that we have doctors and medicals, and every professional has a seal. Basically, we own a little piece of wood, or well, the fancy ones use bull's horn. The horns of the bull. They peel it off and they put your seal on top, and then you put a red ink, and then you stamp a paper to make it official, right? So you grab that, and then you have to fax it or scan it and digitalize it and send it somewhere else. And it was a huge mess and a very long process to report the cases of coronavirus that was happening. So, we would be days or weeks before we know what was happening a week ago because of that. So, cryptocurrency, not only currency, but the cryptographic blockchain encryptions would be amazing to, seal documents and transfer stuff like that. But the whole thing is, for the people that is living right now, I take it over there to a doctor. I take it over there to the people in charge and the government, and I tell them, hey, blockchain, cryptocurrency, and they're like, fuck is that? I just got my computer, and I just know how to put an email. What the hell is cryptocurrency or all this stuff? And they're not willing to sit down with just a little guy and hear you out and talk about the technology, especially when they hear, they do see the newspapers. This is smart people, and they see the newspapers where criminals are using cryptocurrency. Oh, yeah, that's the thing where the email that I got, that somebody hacked my computer and got a video of me like having sex in front of the camera, and is ransom me to send some money, I don't know, whatever, 0 point, whatever coins to some number account. And I took that to the police, and they don't know how to track it because it's untrackable. Wow, that's okay. That's cryptocurrency you're talking about. We're going for that. You want to go for that, for something that criminals use? Because just up to what, July in 2019, Japan already lost 1.2 billion to the criminals using cryptocurrency, and that's a lot of money, right? And what happened in Tokyo, in Japan, is Shibuya opened this huge building, Bitcoin and everything. They had the machine, you go drop your money, you get your little, coin currencies and everything. And what happened? The guy in there said one day, okay, I'm going to close my business, grab $450 million worth of coins from his customers, and poof out of existence. So I think it takes more than just, a bunch of people that is excited about the technology, including me, to actually convince a whole government and a whole system to approve something that can be abused that much. And I know, normal money and everything else can be abused, but you can track that money instead of, untrackable transactions, etc., etc. Am I wrong or am I right?
No, I think you're right that, what companies are, why do you think they're taking advantage of Bitcoin only? Because the structure of Bitcoin is so simple that it started off with, as a game, that the government can track exactly how many Bitcoins there are still to be minted, how many Bitcoins are out in circulation, who owns it, and they can actually control the numbers when it comes to Bitcoin. If we're thinking about Ethereum or Dogecoin or anything else really, well, not all of them, but most of them don't have a cap. And these developers are just changing it by the day. And the government is not going to be able to have much control over these dynamic and evolving cryptocurrencies. So I think as things stand right now, they're going to only focus on the Bitcoin, and people are going to only be looking mainly at Bitcoin because the benefits and the viability of Bitcoin in the government and the country is more than people who own Ethereum. Because why? Because the government gets nothing. And that's why the ignorance within the broader scope of blockchain is going to continue for the next 2-3 years, where people are going to be oblivious to proof of stakes and smart contracts unless something disrupts our countries and creates this media where you can talk to somebody over the age of 80 and they even know what Ethereum is. Right now, they know they've heard of Bitcoin, and all they're saying is it's rubbish, it's digital, whatever. But the most important thing is they know it. So when are the more evolved, more useful form of cryptocurrencies going to come into the public eye and into the social sphere of the world, where we can take advantage of it and actually do something more than what we are? So NFTs, I think, are the closest, because people are like, you know what? I'm an artist. I'm a musician. I took a photo. I've taken beautiful photos all around the world, and now I'm going to be selling one at a time to each person. I'm going to create my business around this. And why is that? Because they've done it already and it's easy. You go to Mintable and now you can actually literally make an NFT for free. You don't even need to pay any ether gas. If you go to Super Rare, then you got to pay. So we always got to ask the question, why now? What's in it for me? And that's why 4 people have mentioned NFTs. Why is that? Because it's in the media, which means that probably is going to be taking off more than other cryptocurrencies, cryptocurrency applications and exchanges. But that's it. That leaves it at that with Oh My Brain. Thank you for joining. Hope you enjoyed another blockchain session and that you'll be back next week with more exciting industries. And feel free to stick around, chat. Don't pop out. It's a nice dilemma lounge. You can also go to the Greek Taverna lounge if you want on the right. But other than that, I'm out of here, and join VR Digital Citizens. Thanks for joining, guys. And thank you, Ali, for being with me and being an awesome, awesome co-host.
Thank you for joining, everyone. Good
Thank
night.
you.
Enjoy.
Have a good one.
See ya.
Cheers.
Thank you. Bye-bye.